In a recent court hearing, John Eastman, the Trump lawyer who authored the infamous coup memo outlining ways in which former Vice President Mike Pence could have overturned the 2020 election, in a recent court hearing, Eastman had to plead the Fifth Amendment 146 times so as to not incriminate himself in potentially criminal activity. Here's what happened. Eastman had been employed with Chapman University, and as part of the ongoing probe into the January 6th Capitol riot and everything surrounding it, Democrats on the committee subpoenaed the records, his emails from Chapman University. They wanted to see if there's anything in there that may be related to the attempts to overturn the election. Well, Eastman decides he's going to fight it. Chapman University, you cannot turn over my emails. We do not want those released, which is usually a pretty good indicator that there's something in there he doesn't want us to see. So the whole matter went to court, and after admitting in court that he did in fact author that coup memo, he then had to plead the Fifth 146 times. Now, that's not as impressive as Eric Trump pleading the Fifth Amendment over 500 times when he spoke to New York investigators, but 146 is still a lot. And that's roughly double the amount of times that Rick Scott had to plead the Fifth Amendment so that he didn't implicate himself in the massive healthcare fraud that the company he was running committed. Now, pleading the Fifth Amendment cannot be used against you in a court hearing. In fact, most of the time, if a defendant pleads the Fifth Amendment, or even a plaintiff pleads the Fifth Amendment, the judge instructs everyone, you cannot listen to that. You got to pretend it didn't even happen. Sometimes you can even get evidence thrown out that way. You can get whole testimonies dismissed because of pleading the Fifth. So Eastman knows what he's doing. But is it going to save him? Maybe in court, but certainly not in the court of public opinion. And to be honest, he probably doesn't stand a chance trying to hide these emails from the committee in court anyway. If Donald Trump can't keep his records from going to the committee, if the Supreme Court won't even go along with that, I seriously doubt that Eastman stands any chance whatsoever to prevent his emails from going to that select committee. But again, the court of public opinion is also very important here. And while we may not get to see those documents, the fact that he had to plead the Fifth Amendment 146 times tells us that there are things he wants to hide here. There are things he doesn't want us to know, not just in the emails, but in his own testimony. And while the Fifth Amendment is in fact vital, we have to support it and we have to respect it. Learning that these individuals are relying so heavily on the Fifth Amendment so they don't go to jail tells us a lot, even without a prosecution, about who these kinds of people really are. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe to our Ring of Fire channel here.